In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching the Year 10s how to make their candle holder. Now, we're doing this for two reasons. One, as always, to improve your skills on Fusion, but two, to manufacture and be able to CNC the section down here. So this bit, I'm sort of highlighting this section that holds it at the bottom. Okay, because we're going to CNC these out and then cast them in aluminium. So what we're going to be doing today is you're going to be making this candle holder. Okay, and we're going to be doing this in three parts. The first part we're going to make is the main section that we've been manufacturing in class. And the second part we're going to make is the section under here, which is the one leg on the left hand side, if you like, or the right hand side as we look at it. And then separately to this, in a different video, I'm going to show you how to make this section here, and you're going to come up with your own designs to be able to do that. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start by making this section and this section. So what I want you to do, I want you to click New Design. Okay, that will give us a new workspace. Now, in previous videos, since the previous video that I made, Fusion is updated, and what they've done is they've changed all of these, the way it looks. Okay, all the things it does, all the things it do, like the sketching, the creating, the modifying, all the same, but the way it looks on your computer is slightly different, perhaps, to the way it does here. So when I click and talk about it, you might just need to bear in mind that it looks a bit different than your one, but where you click is exactly the same. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to click and create a rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to click on surface. Okay, I'm going to click on down here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is click on here, New Design, and that will give you a new workspace. Now, again, just to repeat what I said earlier, this is slightly different. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch. All right, so we're going to click here on this plus button. For you, if you just click on rectangle, it will still work, but I'm going to have to click here. And what this does is this brings up my these three rectangles that we've seen lots before. Where do I want to draw? So do you want to draw it from the top view? Do you want to draw it from more on the side view? So I'm going to draw it from here. I'm going to start drawing my rectangle. Now, if I click R on my keyboard, and you'll see, or I click here on a 2-point rectangle, or for you, if you click in Sketch, you need to click on the rectangle. The easiest way to do it is click R for rectangle, and I'm going to start drawing. And I know, because I know how my sizes, I've got them on a piece of paper next to me, that I want my rectangle to be 20 millimeters by 100 millimeters. So I'm going to just drag it down here and click it to this square where I've got the right measurement. So I've got 20 over here on the left hand side, and I've got 100 on the top. So that's my measurement of the rectangle, as if I was looking at it from the side. So I'm going to select that, click there, and drop it on. Okay, now what I need to do is extrude that rectangle. So I'm going to click E on my keyboard for extruding, and I'm going to select the profile of what I want to extrude. Okay, now so you can see what I'm doing, I'm click on the home button up here, and then I'm going to extrude this, and I'm going to extrude it by 400 millimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to click enter to finish that off. I click home now, I will have the basic shape that has been drawn out that's the basic shape of your candle holder. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to draw the circles in the right spots and in the right places for the candles to be set into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the surface I want to draw the candles on, and then I'm going to click C for circle. Okay, and that already then takes me where I need to be. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to try and find the center, and I don't know if you can see that, but at the top there, if I pan up a little bit, you can hopefully see, and zoom in a little bit, you can see that because I've holding my mouse over the middle part, that X comes up. So now I'm going to bring it down, because I know I'm in the center, and I'm going to draw my circle. Now I want my circle to be 42 millimeters. So I'm just going to type in 42 millimeters. Okay, so that will give me a diameter of 42. Right, so now when I've got one circle, what I need to do is I need to create 3 in a row. But before I do that, I need to make sure that it's in the right position. So I'm just going to click on top again. I'm just going to pan over here and I'm going to click on D for dimensions, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to click, I want to measure it from this line here to the center of this circle. So I'm going to click on the center of this circle, and then I'm going to take my mouse up and see the line goes blue to show that I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to click on that one as well. Okay, now that means when I drag out here that I'm actually measuring from this point to this point. And what I want that to be is I want that to be 100 millimeters away from the edge. So I'm going to change that dimension to 100 millimeters. Okay, so now I know I've got my first one in the right position. What I now need to do is need to copy and paste the three of them into the right position. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to copy this and paste it twice more. Now I can do this in a couple of ways. I can either simply select it, click Control C on my keyboard, and then Control V to paste it in. Or as I want to do, because I want to put it a specific measurement away, if I click Create and then I go down to Duplicate on a rectangular pattern, what I can say is I want it to be 100 millimeters away, well actually 200 millimeters away, okay, and I want three of them. Now, so what that's done is that's equally spaced the two I want 200 millimeters away, so each one would be 100 millimeters away. Okay, so once I've got the 200 millimeters away, I've dragged downwards because I want it to go in a downwards direction. That gives me three in a row. I click OK. So I've now got my three circles drawn on top of my candle holder. So what I need to do is I need to press pull that in. So I'm going to select by holding shift down and clicking on the left mouse button. I'm selecting the three circles that I want. I'm now going to click Q on my keyboard, and I'm going to select them again. I shouldn't have selected them before, but I'm going to select the three that I want, and then I'm going to sink these in. So I'm going to take these down, and I'm going to change this one here to negative 10 millimeters. So I'm minusing 10 millimeters to sink these into the rectangle like that, okay? And there are my holes that are inserted to be my candle holder. Okay, so we're almost finished. What we now need to do is create the routed slot for our housing joint at the bottom. So first thing you need to do is rotate it so you can see the bottom, or if you want to, just click on the bottom of the box there, and I need to select this this face here. Okay, I've selected it because this is the face I'm going to draw on. I'm then going to click R on my keyboard, and I'm going to draw a rectangle from one side to the other. Now, if you're clever, you'll be able to put these into exactly the right spot. So 20 mil away from the bottom, and then 20 mil apart. Okay, so I'm going to click there, and there is my rectangle drawn. So now what I need to do is the same way as you did the circles at the top. We're going to press pull that in. We're only going to go halfway. So I'm going to click on Q, which is for press pull on here. I'm then going to select that, and then I'm going to go up -10. I'm just going to drag it up -10, which will put in there the groove that we need to have for our housing joint. Okay, so that's one part of your product. You now need to go up here and you need to click File and then save this. Okay, and then I'll ask you what you want to save it. I'm going to call it Candle Holder Main Part. Okay, so I recognize what that is, and it's going in my first project. I'm going to click Save on that, so I've now saved that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the little block that goes into here. Okay, so this block, as we know, is 40 mil wide, and we're doing this as a separate piece. So I'm going to create a new design here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on New Sketch, and this time I'm going to draw it from the top. Okay, because when I put it in, I want it to be in the right orientation. I want it to be the right way round, in other words. I'm going to click and draw it from the top view. Okay, then I'm going to click on a 2-point rectangle, or R for the shortcut, and I'm going to draw another block of wood that is 100 by 200. Okay, and then I'm going to click E for extrude, select that, and I want this to be extruded by clicking on it 40 millimeters, 35, 40 millimeters, and I click enter. Okay, and there's my block of wood. So what I now need to do is save this one also. So I'm going to click save, and I'm going to call this one candle holder leg, and I'm going to click save. Okay, so now what we've done is we've created the two sections, the two main sections, the main top piece and the leg part, and we need to put those together. So I'm going to go back into candle holder main part. I'm going to click on my 9 dots over here, and down on the left hand side you have all of the drawing, all the things that you've done. I need to get mine organized a little bit, I think, and put them into folders. And what you need to do is, so there's my candle holder main part and there's my candle holder leg. So what I can do, I can actually drag the candle holder leg and put it into the right place. So I'm going to grab that one and I'm going to drag it and place it into this one, into the candle holder main part. Okay, it'll take a few seconds just for it to realize. Okay, so then what it wants to know is whereabouts you want it to start. So at the moment, I'm just going to put it in a position where I can get access to it cleanly, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm just going to place it in this position. Okay, and then I'm going to click enter, and then there it is. So at the moment, it's not in the right spot. So what we need to do is we need to join these parts. Okay, so the best way to do that is decide which surfaces or which edges you want to touch on the two pieces. So I know I want this edge here and to touch with this edge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, and you'll see it selected by clicking on the left hand button of my mouse, and I'm holding shift down now, and I'm going to select this part here. So I've selected that line and I've selected these two lines which I wish to come in contact with each other, and I'm going to click J on my keyboard, and what that does is that joins those two parts. Okay, we've got some different options here, okay, what type of joint we want, but for now we're not worried about that. We just want that to join, and then we click OK, and there is our candle holder. Okay, so we've got our 3 holes recessed for the actual candles to sit in. We've got our housing joint, which has been routed in there. And then we've got our leg section, which we've made as a separate part and joined them together. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how you manufacture the part you've designed, which will act as the other leg. Okay, but in today's video, I just wanted you to get as far as creating the main shapes and the main pieces from for the main section.